Today on CCX News, an end of an era in Golden Valley. A go-to place for sports memorabilia closes. After 40 years of being in the sports card and memorabilia business, the owner of Papa Hawks Sports and Collectibles is retiring. Saturday will be the shop's final day. As Delane Cleveland reports, longtime customers are sad to see the end of a Golden Valley treasure.
Doesn't feel right.
For the past 8 years, Papa Hawks Sports and Collectibles has been the place to go for anyone who collects sports memorabilia.
If I'm looking for a couple cards to complete a set, he's got it here.
The store has literally millions of sports cards, photos, and autographs among its collection.
He just come in and look, and he's got it, and his prices are great.
January 18th is the store's final day, and owner Mark Hochstetter discounted his entire inventory shortly after announcing his retirement in November.
We've had a lot of people in 2, 3, 4 times, 10 times. It's been wonderful.
Wonderful, not just because he's moving product, but because he can say one final goodbye to the friends who have supported his business throughout the years.
It's been a fun ride. I've enjoyed it.
A fun ride, not just for him, but for his employees.
It's my home away from home in a way.
Papa Hawks is more than a store. It's a place where like-minded people can gather to talk about sports and the teams they love.
At the end of the day, when we're wrapping up, this is small talk before we leave. It's the little things.
Anything that's not sold during this final weekend will be posted on an online auction site, which means there's still a lot of sorting to be done. It's one reason why the emotion hasn't sunk in for Hochstetter just yet.
I think the emotional part will come when I lock the door for the last time.
And that day won't come for another few weeks. But today, it's all about gratitude.
I just want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart for supporting me all these years.
In Golden Valley, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
The online auction will begin January 31st and run through February 10th. You can find a link to that at ccxmedia.org. In other news, a search warrant has revealed new details in a domestic violence case in Brooklyn Park that led to a response from a hazmat team. Police say they were initially called last month on a dispute between a husband and wife. The woman had believed her husband was trying to poison her and gave police a drink containing an unknown substance for testing. That test later revealed suspected ground-up castor beans, which contain ricin, a highly lethal substance. A hazmat team later returned to process the rest of the home before determining there was no further danger. If you've ever wanted to try out ice fishing, there's a free opportunity in Robbinsdale coming up on Monday. The city is hosting an ice fishing clinic on Crystal Lake for Martin Luther King Day. It's through a Minnesota nonprofit, Elpis Enterprises. The group is partnering with Robbinsdale to teach families ice fishing basics, including all kinds of safety advice. Organizer Carl Erickson says it all fits into a bigger goal.
Part of this is to get other people from other backgrounds a chance to understand the safety of it, understand how much fun it can be, and break down the barriers and get rid of all the barriers to participation.
You can sign up through the City of Robbinsdale's website, and if you can't make it this month, Erickson says they're also hosting a Maple Grove fishing clinic on President's Day. Sunday on CCX News, we hear from State Representative Cedric Frazier of New Hope. One question we asked, what Dr. Martin Luther King meant to him.
The reason we have a holiday celebrating his birthday is because of what he meant and the impact he had on humankind. And I think if all of us can learn to serve with passion and love and just treat each other like human beings, we'd have a much better society, and we'd have a much better world, and we'd have a much better state here in Minnesota.
You'll hear from Representative Frazier on what he thinks of the governor's budget proposal and when he believes DFL lawmakers will return back to the Capitol. This weekend, there's a colorful way to help you not think about an arriving cold front. Today in Weekend Showcase, photojournalist Dustin Scholl takes us to the Robbin Gallery for In Cahoots with Color.
Stacy and I were trying to come up with a title for the show, and for whatever reason, I really liked the word cahoots. The paintings of Stacy's I'd seen at that time were brightly colored, and my palette was pretty bright, so I threw that out as a suggestion. I've spent my whole life in the upper Midwest, and I used to live in the upper peninsula of Michigan. So I was outside a lot, in the landscape, in the woods, around lakes and rivers and creeks and stuff. And all of that just, when I started painting, just sort of started tumbling out. Any painter swims in color, so I think painters would relate to that and give some energy that I think is present in these pieces. For me, a painting isn't finished until there's an audience to look at it. It kind of completes a circuit, if you will.
The exhibit runs through Sunday, January 26th, and that last day includes a chance to meet the artists.
Champlin Park and Maple Grove are fighting for seeding position in next month's Section 5AA boys hockey playoffs. The two faced off in a Northwest Suburban Conference game Thursday night.
The Crimson looking for their third win in a row. The Rebels riding a 4-game winning streak coming in. It doesn't take long for Maple Grove to strike. Jaden Roche threads a long pass ahead to Lane Glendy, who goes in alone to score. The Crimson are on the board just 31 seconds into the game. Still in the first, Wyatt Kuznick forces the turnover at the Rebels line, and the Maple Grove sophomore takes it and pops in its 10th goal of the season. Crimson lead 2-0 after one. Second period, Kuznick from the wing centers the puck to Rouchet, who scores. Maple Grove in control, and they lead to 3-0 as the Crimson get goals from all three forwards on their top line. The Rebels get one back on the power play. Nice feed from behind the net by Brody Holine to Cole Perkins with a quick shot for a goal. It's a 3-1 game. Perkins' 7th goal of the season. Third period, Maple Grove tacks on 3 more goals. Charlie Steenerson, nice setup to Brady Aubert, who snaps a shot home. Maple Grove's up 4-1. Sophomore Cole Forrest earns his first varsity point and goal on this play, scoring unassisted with a backhander to put Maple Grove up 5-1, and they go on to win it over Champlin Park. 6-1 is the final.
Wayzata and Edina should be top contenders in Section 6AA boys hockey again this season. They met in the first of 2 Lake Conference matchups this week. Jay Wilcox has highlights.
Wayzata facing Edina in a big Lake Conference boys hockey matchup. Finn D. St. Hubert to Colin Bierman for the one-timer on the power play, and Wayzata goes up 1-0 4.5 minutes in. Second period, and a great deflection by Mason West as it bounces off the ice and in. The Hornets tie the game up at 1-1.
Even for a good as player as West is, I don't know that you could do that.
McCoy Kurtz gets the rebound goal off his skate for Wayzata. The Trojans are back in front 2-1. Edina responds though. The give and go, and West buries another to even the score at 2-2. Caleb Pitsley on the power play scores from out high as Edina takes the lead for the first time at 3-2. Wayzata isn't done though. Late in the second, Bierman to McCoy, and he scores with 18 seconds left. The score is tied 3-3 after 2 and still tied after regulation. In overtime, Eli Moldy wins the draw, and Carson Clark nets the game winner as Wayzata takes a 4-3 thriller over Edina.
I mean, we've been working at face-offs all practice, all week, and we've been struggling all game to get a good one. And I told my coach I'm a lefty, told him let me line up right side, and I was confident in our center. He won it back, and I just pounded it in.
Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Breck and Blake are both ranked in the top 10 in Class A girls hockey. The two teams played 2 weeks ago, with the Bears winning 2-1. The Mustangs look to flip the script Thursday night.
This one on the Bears' home ice in the venerable Blake Arena. First period, the Bears turn the puck over at their own blue line. Alexis Scherf takes it for Breck and goes in alone to score on a breakaway. 9th goal of the season for the sophomore. It's 1-0 Mustangs midway through the first. Second period, and the Bears tie it. Callie Arthur skates deep into the Breck zone and then finds Ella Bond coming down the slot, and she scores. It's a 1-1 game early in the second. And it stays that way for a long time. Bears goalie Jane McCown slides over to make the save on the point-blank shot from Mary Knoll. And then in the third period, McCown with another of her 36 saves, stopping Scherf in tight. Teams play on to overtime, still tied 1-1. In OT, Breck gets a power play. Alexis Ulrich with the shot from the point. Taylor Hall with one chance on the rebound before number 7, McKenna Schleeman, sweeps it in. Breck wins 2-1, and they split the season series with Blake. John Jacobson, CCX Sports. Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.